Welcome to Blue Sky Trading. We wanted to do a quick video for you guys tonight to go over the trades we discussed in our Sunday video. A link to that video can be found at the end of this video. Most of the trades we discussed in that Sunday video are doing really well, and a couple of them not so much, but we'll get into all of those. So in tonight's video, we'll go over how we are managing those trades, and hopefully you got into some of those trades we discussed so that you're making money this week. As a reminder, please subscribe and hit that like button so that we can continue to make these videos for you guys. With that, let's get into it. Let's look at the S&P first. Not a lot to say. Obviously, we're still in a downtrend with a nice rally these last couple days, but all it did was get up to the 21 EMA. It seems to be getting rejected there at the moment. So we are in a wait and see situation. For this rally to continue, we need to break above the 21 EMA. However, if we get rejected and start to see lower lows, that could indicate that we may be in a situation similar to this rally, where we had a few up days and then a big flush down. So it's not impossible that we see something similar with this rally, where we had a few up days and potentially followed by a big move down. So again, we need to watch and see if we can get above the 21 EMA on volume and ideally hold above there.
All right, so with that, let's get into the stocks that we talked about. So starting with 10. So 10, we mentioned this one here because it was bouncing off the 200-day moving average, which was previous resistance. Seems to be holding as support for now. But honestly, I just don't really like the way this one is trading. Had a nice move up, but got really quickly rejected at that 21 EMA, and pretty big move back down all the way, all the way to the 200, at least intraday today. Just not ideal the way it's trading. I would have liked this to hold up a little bit better on this bounce, but if you are in this trade, you could still hold on to it. I mean, technically it's not doing anything wrong. You could keep your stop right around the, around 72.06. Keep your stop there and just, expect this 200-day to hold. But that being said, I mean, I'm out of this currently. I'm waiting for this to see if it can stabilize a little bit, and then ideally show some strength. I'd like to see a move up again on volume, kind of like this day here, where we had a big volume spike, green bar, showing some strength. If it can do that and move above these moving averages, I think that would be a better place to get back into this position. Okay, moving on to end phase. This one definitely looks worse than 10. I did get stopped out of this one today. Again, we were watching to hold all these support levels. It bounced several times off of support, and then today very decisively broke down through it. Ended up closing almost 10% down on the day, but it was down even more intraday. So I'm out of this one for now. Again, I want to see, and this was on really high volume too. So I like to see this one stabilize and then show some strength with, increasing volume on a move up to get back into this position. For solar, this one's holding above the moving averages, but again, this is just a tough stock to hold. I mean, from today's low to yesterday's high, we're talking right around 9%. So, I mean, it's tough to trade this with any kind of position size. Either you got to be really small in your position, or ideally, I'd probably just wait on this one. The way it's pulling back today, I would think that it just seems like it wants to test that 50-day moving average, or at least wait for that 50-day to come a bit closer up here. So I would just watch this one for now. I don't have a position in this one right now. So those are the ones that are not working as well. So now let's move on to what is working. Oil sector has been really strong. So Devon Energy was one that we looked at on Sunday. We were looking at it based on this bounce off of the support line. It was making higher lows, so we got into this position, and it's made a really nice move up. So on something like this, where you got this nice move, and it's definitely showing a lot of relative strength compared to the rest of the market, compared to the SPY, it's above all the moving averages. So you want to stay in something like this. I mean, you don't want to completely close out your position, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you don't turn a profit into a loss. So there's two ways of doing this. One is you could take some partial profits, sell it, say maybe a quarter of your position, and then move your stops up. Or the other way to do it is just stagger some stops. So like you could put a stop, say at, right at today's low, maybe another stop right below the moving averages, and then your third one at your break even or your entry point. Everyone trades a little differently, so you got to find which style works for you. But however you do it, just make sure that if you have a profit, you're not letting it turn into a loss. All right, moving on to EOG. Basically identical chart. I wouldn't trade both of them. I'd pick one or the other. The charts are almost identical. So same thing. You want to be taking some partial profits up here, or at least staggering some stops. All right, MPC. Again, very similar chart. This one actually broke the high from August 26th, so made a nice high yesterday and held that high today. This is still working really well. I think this stock can still move quite a bit. Again, we have a nice profit in here, so stagger some stops, take some partial profits, but try and stay in this trade as long as it is working. As long as it's moving up, I would stay in this one. All right, moving on to the metals and mining sector. Take a look at AMR. So this one, again, really nice move, nice bounce off the 200-day. When you compare this to the SPY, this obviously looks a lot stronger. It's above all the moving averages. Moving averages are really nice and coiled together, which indicates that it could potentially have a really nice volatility spike and move to the upside. So this one, I actually don't have a position in this one right now. I'd say if it moves above this around 153.30 level, just because you had this nice breakout, and then today it back tested the moving averages intraday and ended up closing pretty much at break even. So if this moves above this 153 level, I think you could either add to your position if you already have one, or even look at initiating a new position and putting a stop right below the moving averages. I think this one could continue moving also. Okay, looking at BTU. So this one, it's still inside this trading range, but it's had a really nice move from where we got in. This is the one we talked about last week, where once it broke above this downward sloping trend line and got above the moving averages, we took the trade right around the $23 level. So from our entry, today's close, we're up pretty much 20% on this trade in just a week. I did take some partial profits on it yesterday on this red candle. I locked in some gains just because it was showing a little bit of weakness. Obviously recovered really nicely today, but so I sold a quarter of my position yesterday, and the rest of it, I'm just going to stagger some stops. Put a stop below yesterday's low, and maybe one right below these moving averages. All right, looking at NUE. So this one also had a nice move. The only thing that makes this trade a little more difficult, and I do have a position in this one. I bought this one. You can see this is pretty much a double bottom. Support held, so I got into it on one of these days here. I think it was actually on this day here. I did get a small position, so I'm nice move up. It's right at this resistance level right now. So today, didn't really tell you a whole lot. It was a nice inside candle. If you can get above here, I think again you could add to your position or even initiate a new one, but you don't want to see a break on that on pretty high volume. If it gets rejected, I think I'd probably close out this position. So we'll have to see how that trades tomorrow. Another one that's working really well. This one actually working better than I expected even. We talked about VALE on Sunday. And remember, this is one where it's a very high volatility stock. So it has really big moves, really big swings. When it does consolidate like that, you could potentially get a really big move. The only thing that might limit it in this case is this 200-day moving average could act as resistance. So we'll have to watch and see. But we talked about it on the weekend. It had a really nice move since then. I bought it right on this breakout of the box. And I'm up. It's not a huge gain. I think I'm only up only about 5% or so, but still it's acting really well. It's moving up on this trend line. So I'm just going to stick with this one as long as it's working. And the last stock we want to look at, we had mentioned WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. This one also working out really well. We had noticed when it broke out of this downward sloping trend line, actually we were a little late on this one. Here would have been the ideal day to buy it. I think we got in on this day or this day here, so we were in a little late. But again, this was one that we mentioned on Sunday where it's in a very clear, defined trading channel, and it was right near the bottom of the channel. The averages are curling and starting to point upwards. So hopefully you saw this one and got into this trade. And here we're looking for a move up towards this top channel. I'd be moving stops up if you are in this, but I would just let this one work. And like I said, use this top channel as your next target. So that's all I got for tonight. Hopefully that video helps. Hopefully you were able to get into some of these trades and making some money this week. Again, it's a very difficult market right now, a very volatile, risky market. So make sure your entries are good. When you do have profits, make sure you're rationing up those stops. Just from a psychological level, there's nothing worse than letting a profit turn into a loss. So make sure when you have a profit, you're taking those, booking some of those profits, and yeah, just manage your risk. So that's all I got for tonight. Again, a reminder, if you like these videos, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.